So Andy, our first away point of the season last Saturday against Clifton. What's your reaction and the players' reaction to that result?
Well, again, as it was when we played Taunton and got a bonus point then, a huge confidence boost considering that the week before we'd conceded 100 points and not scored any. To go down to Clifton and come away with a 4-try bonus point was great news for us all. But we're also looking at how we can also get closer and perhaps even get into position of winning a game. And one of the things we've identified this week is how many times we gave the ball away and they very, very easily scored as a consequence of it. And there were 3 occasions when we literally dropped the ball and somebody either picked it up and ran and scored, or they hacked it on and scored. And then there was another couple of occasions when we gave the ball away, tactically made a bad decision, and gave them the ball back easily, and then after a couple of phases they scored. So, that's 5 tries. Whether they're converted or not, that's 25 points, possibly 35 points. Now we're looking at a completely different game. And yet, when we're scoring our 4 tries, we're working really, really hard to score them. And we should make it difficult for sides to score against us. And then we're in with a game. So, yeah, we're hugely, a lot happier after the game. But now starting to look at how can we make these games closer and perhaps even get a win.
Okay, so Saturday we're at home to Westcombe Park. What's the strategy for that match?
Same as it was last week. They're another side who are in the bottom half of the division. They've won a game. They won away at Lydney, which is not an easy thing to do. It was by a point. That was a game that there is scoreline shows that we were well beaten, but we felt at half time we were in the game and perhaps even the better of the 2 teams. So we know that we can compete against a team like Lydney when we try in passages of play. So they're a side at the bottom. They've won a game. They've got 6 points. We've got 2. They've got 2 bonus points. If we're going to get ourselves out of this position, we've got to beat the sides in and around us. Clifton was one last week, and Westcombe Park are another one this week. So it's to go out and put in a decent display, and with that, hopefully get a win.
Okay, so who's likely to be in the squad?
Well, every week I sort of reel off a squad. Earlier on in the season, and whenever I gave you a team, it stayed like that. But now it changes on a day-by-day basis with various things happening to players or their members of their family or things like that. But we're going to go for pretty much the same pack as Clifton, other than the fact that we'll probably give Ollie Spanswick the opportunity to play at open side, which is his preferred position, and not winger. He's done a couple of good stints out there. He had a whole game out there last week, and the plan was to move him back into the back row at some stage, but injuries didn't allow for that to happen. So we'll probably give Ollie a chance to play at 7. Jack trained on Tuesday. Jack Avery trained on Tuesday, and so we're going to bring him back into the starting line at 9. But Andy Gale really sort of asked questions of the defence on Saturday, so we feel that we need to keep him involved. So we're probably going to move him out onto the wing. It's not his preferred position, but he's a good footballer, and it also will obviously, if Jack does pick up a recurrence of either of his injuries, then we've got a scrum half who can easily step back in there. Tim Parker picked up an injury to a rib on Tuesday, but Ian Herriot moved back into the centre towards the end of the game on Saturday before he went off with a split eye. So Ian will probably start in the centre with Oscar. Ian's eye is fine. I've had communication from him. He played for the university yesterday, and it's obviously survived that. Joe Gren, who had some army commitments at the weekend, will play on the other wing, and then Martin at fullback. Martin's having a bit of a fitness test tonight. He did hurt his knee on Saturday, and hopefully not too bad, and he'll be available to play at fullback and score some more tries like he's been doing. Robbie Arthur is now fit. Will train tonight, but we'll probably start him on the bench with Tom Sanders, and we may also put Tom Bax on the bench, who has obviously been playing in the front row, but can actually pack down in the second row. So that covers those options. Harry Sparks, who can play 7, but we're also looking at as a potential centre. And then obviously Lloyd is there as our 10 cover, but Lloyd can cover most of the positions in the backs as well. So that's the idea at the moment. What happens between now and Saturday, we'll wait to see, really.
Okay. Supporters who are coming down on Saturday, can you tell us how important it is for the team to be well supported?
Yeah, well, I've been on record in the past 2 or 3 years ago saying that certainly at home games, there are two teams out there. There is obviously the team which go out and try to put in a performance which ultimately, they're aiming to win a game. But that their performance can and quite often is improved by knowing and feeling the support of the people that are there. And obviously, on a home game, you hope that the majority are shouting for you. So it helps when you're desperately trying to defend, and it helps when you're desperately trying to score. So all the support that people can give is greatly received, and it's not called Blues Corner for nothing. It's quite an interesting spectacle. When I'm stood across in the technical area, I won't call it dugout, but technical area, and the lights are on, and it's starting to get dark, and we're kicking into that corner, and you've got the people on the balcony and the people around the edge of the pitch all shouting for Newbury to score a try. It's quite an intimidating sight and sound, and so if we can sort of culture that sort of environment, that would be great. But it's also knowing the players knowing that people are there, right the way from the beginning. So I know we warm up quite early before a game, but we try to sort of finish the last 2 or 3 minutes with them running back along the side of the clubhouse towards the players' tunnel. And it'd be great if people could try and get away from the bar a few minutes early and just let the guys know that they're there already. They're there to shout them on, and get a feeling for, right, we're back at home. We're not at Clifton. We're not at Lydney. People are here to support us. So that's great. And then after the game, it's been greatly appreciated that, I was going to say, despite the result, we know what the results have been every home game this season. That people still appreciate that their efforts that they're putting in. And I've said to them, as long as they continue to put in that effort, then people will come and watch, and we'll thank them for that effort. And who knows, this Saturday it'll be a louder round of applause because we've actually got a W.
Okay, best of luck.
Thank you.